I love blues. Can you tell? I love blues. Most every social media thing I do has blues in it. I love it. You know, today is really kind of welcome to Stroke of Journey, Stroke, the Journey of Play podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Avila. Just remember that this series, this mini series I'm doing on my story, is because I really never told my story. And my goal this year for 2025 is to write my book, The Stroke, The Journey, My Journey Within. So what I'm doing in this series I'm doing is I plan on getting out of my mind something that occurred to me 15 years ago. 15 years ago, I survived a brain aneurysm and stroke. And this is my story. This is chapter 6. Might be chapter 7. I have to look for chapter 6 or 7. I don't know. But I'm trying to get out of my mind. My book will have much more detail in it, a lot more detail. But initially, right now, I'm just trying to get the emotions out, get the basics out, and then put them in a podcast. And I'll have them transferred into a digital form, into a text, and then we'll start writing using a book software from the Great Discovery Genius Club. But today I want to show you, before I start this podcast, I want to show you a short that I made. Here you go. These shorts I make every day. I make a new short for my community on YouTube once every morning, 5 days, Monday through Friday. So if you are looking for a little inspiration in the morning, subscribe to Stroke TV Media YouTube channel. And you'll get a notification of my short every time I post one in the morning. So here's the one I posted from this morning. So you can tell by the shorts, I'm going to come at a little bit of that one. Just simple saying, you can. Stroke survivor, you can. How many of us all through the day, throughout the day, get told we can't by our own brain, our own mind, by people around us, by the medical community, whatever, saying you can't do that. I'm told by people around me that I can't walk because I might fall. Well, I guess falling might be worse than that. I don't know. But do not tell stroke survivors they can't. Show them how they can. Show us stroke survivors how we can accomplish our goal. I plan on walking someday. I have a dream of walking and driving someday, believe it or not. I hate people telling me I can't. I would rather let's devise and come up with a plan. What steps do I need to take to get me to where I can walk and drive? What steps? But don't start out with I can't. That frustrates me no end. But let's get back on track. I just get the sunshine. But the real point of this is remembering my waking up. I woke up the first time, which I discussed in a previous chapter 6, I think. and woke up terrified. Woke up for the first time. I fell back asleep. And this was later on. I don't know how long it's longer, but I woke up and I realized I'm now cognitively waking up and aware of what's happening. So let me paint a little bit of a picture. They put put me in a room right across from the nurse station. I mean, right across. Because I could do a flat line at any time. But there was always chatter, always talk in the hallway, always people going, all hours of the night, didn't matter. Sleep was not something I understood. So basically, I woke up to these bells going off, sounds, beeps, the nurse's station across the hallway. I woke up in a bed all alone, scared. Now, what hit me was terrifying because what I tried to do is something simple I've done all my life. I tried to pick up my left leg. Nothing. I tried to pick up my left arm. Nothing. I tried to talk to myself. Nothing. Sheer terror once again coursed through my veins. I think that's probably that experience of being dead weight, being my left side of my body encased in concrete, which is what it felt like. I couldn't move my left arm if I tried. I couldn't move my left leg if I tried. I couldn't make a sound if I tried. I knew I was in serious trouble. I had never been in the hospital before like this. I was near death every moment I was in the ER and in intensive care. Also, members being so afraid. So afraid. And I don't know if you may remember this. Put in comments if you had this happen. I had a tube hanging out my nose, feeding tube, because I was unable to eat food. So they installed a feeding tube that went from down my nose, down my esophagus, straight into my stomach. And they injected the liquid food, so many times a day. So I get the tubing down my nose. My head is all bandaged up. And they did something very strange. And if you had this happen, please let me know. They would come in every hour, 24 hours a day, and give me an injection in my stomach. Yep, they gave me a needle shot right in the stomach. It wasn't a huge needle. It was a short needle, but needle nonetheless. It was an anti-clot medication. I don't know what it was. And I'll get into that later because it followed me home. But I think probably what I remember is it began to set me up in bed. Now, mind you, I had a brain aneurysm first, which caused damage to my cerebellum, which is your balance center. So I could not sit up at the edge of the bed. I was like full risk, no doubt. So the nurses all knew I was a full risk. But I remember trying to sit up in bed. Not only could I not move my left arm, I could not move my left leg. I could not balance. I would try to sit up at the edge of the bed, and I did it would just fall over. Not being in control of your body. I mean, how could you describe that? How can I describe to you who have controlled their body completely, all of a sudden have no control? I'll tell you, it feels disconnected, disassociated from your body. Your brain is now separated from your body. It is a terrifying feeling. And then I reached up to the upper part of my head and I could feel God's indentation. The indentation I felt was where they drilled a hole in my skull into my brain area to relieve the pressure from my brain swelling. We have got a number of things taking place. I'll tell you, there's nothing more. Oh, hey, Bill Wade. Oh, I gotta pause. Bill Wade, bro, thank you for coming here and supporting me. I appreciate it. Bill Wade is a very close brother of mine. And I in fact, I want to encourage you to go into my Stroke the Journey Within podcast, and you will hear Bill Wade's interview. I did a podcast with him on Stroke the Journey Within. But hey, Bill Wade, I'm so glad you're on there. So I want to appreciate being there. If you're out there watching this on the replay or live, take a minute, smash that like button, subscribe to Stroke TV Media YouTube. It will help us out tremendously, spread the stroke awareness worldwide. So anyway, you get remember when I woke up cognitive enough that I could tell I just woke up. And you can remember I suffer from locked-in syndrome. I mean, I can move a little more than my eyes, no doubt. I couldn't talk. I just felt like I could talk. I was locked in. I couldn't communicate with my wife other than maybe a shaking my head yes or no, as I could do. I don't know. Hey, Bill. Yeah, I love your story too, bro, by the way. You know, how I want to raise awareness. If you're out there and you're non-stroke survivor and you smoke, stop. If you drink, stop or moderate it. Because stroke, 1 in 4 people will have strokes. There are 1 in 4 people have stroke. One person will have stroke every 40 seconds in the United States. This is a 30-minute podcast. I'm telling every 40 seconds of this podcast, someone has a stroke in the United States. I did a Stroke TV Media, soon to be Foundation, Stroke TV Media Foundation's purpose to raise stroke awareness, try to reduce that number, try to get that number down. So let me back up. I want to go back to being laying in bed and waking up to new me. I can't even describe how I felt during that time. But that was why you asked paralyzed. I had no idea. I mean, the feeling of paralyzation is like turning on the TV, but the remote isn't working. Go ahead and turn on the TV, the remote, but it doesn't work. The batteries are dead. It's what it feels like when you're paralyzed. I mean, nothing is connecting. Your brain is not connected to your body. I cannot describe that. But like I said, what was really a pain, literally, was them coming to inject me. Now, I mentioned that earlier. For them coming and injecting me in my stomach every hour. Now, that time I also had the tracheotomy in. I don't know if you can see it, but there's some markers there. I could breathe on my own. I was just coming out of coma. And that trach, they left the trach in there to be able to put it back on. And they didn't take it out of my throat until I proved to them I was able to breathe on my own. That day eventually came. But I think I want to encourage you to go back. I know I think it's chapter 7. Go list all these chapters in a row. You'll see progress. And like I told you earlier, this is all in preparation for a book I'm going to write called Stroke, My Journey Within. Not that stroke journey within. My stroke. My journey within. Because I think I want to raise awareness. I want to give you guys a compelling reason to tune in. I want to be known. I look at myself as kind of a stroke expert. I know Bill is probably too. I've been a stroke survivor for 15 years. I watch people that just have strokes within months, and it breaks my heart. I could be anyway. Guys, if you could avoid yourself getting a stroke, there are a lot of strokes that are preventable. You need to take care of your health. Oh yeah, that's right, Bill. I gotta say this. Bill did was. He knew what he knew what I was gonna shower my stomach with. It was called heparin. It's an anti-clotting injection. I was getting every hour. Thank you, Bill, for doing that. And then, I brought up in the previous podcast, if there's something you can do for your stroke survivor, say you have a spouse or a friend that has a stroke, turn off the ceiling lights. Turn off the ceiling lights. There's nothing worse than looking up, staring in the fluorescent lights 24 hours a day or all day. Terrible. So please take a minute and turn the lights off for your stroke survivor. That'd be great. And I'll be doing a podcast where we all get together and help each other, give tips of what would have helped us during that time. But the main thing is, people, so here I am laying in bed, half paralyzed, feel like half my body is cased in concrete, injecting me every hour, having to go pee in there alone, and they tried to get me go poop. And I knew I was a child when I was wearing that diaper, and it wasn't. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to poop in a diaper. They had to two of us. They had to toilet. I sat there. Anyway, I think probably the silence of the room, the silence of the silence of the room in the ICU, the silence, the sound of silence. Well, I was at kind of a little bit of clamor in the background because I was across the nurse station. But there were times when the lights were off my room. Nothing turned the beats off the machines. I remember thinking, I am going to die. I remember thinking, I am seriously messed up. I'm seriously messed up. I'm going to die. You know, you always plan your life as if bad things will never happen. I never ever even thought at 47 years old I would have a stroke and a brain aneurysm. How many of you out there think it wake up every morning like it's no big deal, or go fishing, or go hiking, or walk, or talk, or whatever? We all take for granted those things in our life. I am telling you right now, don't. Pause every day and say thank you. Be grateful for today because you're not promised tomorrow. Listen, people, I shouldn't be here. Right? Let's be real. I should not be here. Go back to my waking up. I went to my own funeral because I did. I went to my funeral. I am not supposed to be here. And I'm saying every day that you are here is a gift. 100%. And I don't think any of us could really understand what it means to be grateful that you can talk, that you can walk, that you could not take your life for granted. So what I want to encourage you is pause right now. Pause. Sometime today, go outside and just pause. I want you to thank God for your life. Thank God for the people around you. Thank God you have your abilities. Because if you're like me, you take it for granted. Then now look what happened. I lost them all. I'm still 15 years later in a wheelchair. I lost them all. I'm telling you, you could lose them too. I'm just saying, please be aware of how you eat, what you do to your body, because it drives you to drugs, whatever. Be aware it could happen to you. If there's one big takeaway from today's podcast, I'm gonna say it's just that. Don't take for granted your life. Don't take for granted your abilities. Be grateful for them, people. I don't have them anymore. I don't have them. It's so easy. We get caught up in our day-to-day life that we forget to pause and realize our very life is a gift. Our very life is a gift from God. Our very breath we take is a gift from God. Just pause. Say thank you. I'll thank yourself. Fast as lightning strikes, I became a stroke survivor. As fast as lightning strikes, I became a stroke survivor. I mean, Bill, Bill has had some very serious trauma happen to him through a stroke. He's had numerous bone flaps, his skull go bad. So, Bill, what was the one thing that you remember the most from that time in the hospital when you first were cognitive aware of where you were? Put each out what you were what one day do you remember the most out of all things you were doing in the beginning? For me, I would say the one thing that I remember the most, aside being in the hospital, is that I couldn't move my left side. I was paralyzed. I could not move the left side. I remember that the most. I could not speak. You know, yeah, I want to pause just a minute and remember, May is Raising Stroke Awareness Month. So please go to Stroke TV BD on YouTube. Share short, go to the shorts. Share short, whatever. Share any content regarding stroke. If you need the content, go to Stroke TV Media. If you need the content, email me at aaronala.stroketv@gmail.com. Just Google stroke hashtag stroke TV and you'll find content. I can say it's great. May is Raising Stroke Awareness Month. So get out there, raise stroke awareness. Well, as pretty much getting down to town. I wish spent that time with Bike Quake. But I'm going to take a minute. Just like I said, if there's anything you do from this podcast, I want you to pause every day of your life and just be grateful. Be grateful for your abilities. Take it from me. You could lose them in an instant, like I did. You could lose them as fast as lightning strikes. I lost all my abilities at age 47 as fast as lightning strikes. It could happen to you. So be aware, be grateful, be thankful for your life, the people around you. Tell other people to you love them. I really appreciate tuning in. Bill, appreciate being on the pro. But thank you so much. Remember, we're every Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. East Coast Time. I'm also launching my business podcast coming up next month. I will have my premier global business celebrity, Jeffrey Hazel, kicking out the relaunch of my Stroke of Genius podcast executive experience. So stay tuned. Remember to subscribe to Stroke Deep Media on YouTube. And don't forget to click that little bell icon so you get notified what time and what day my relaunch is and every part in there. So guys, everybody have a great time. Thank you for tuning in.